Now that's a hint and a half for your ass.
So we like technically Pinky and the Brain.
Which one are you?
Let's not get into that. Whoever gets there first, then we know.
All right.
Alright.
Great. After much ado and technical difficulties,
All part of the job.
yeah, kind of pop in the trunk trying to do a podcast.
Professional
Anyway.
recording.
Yeah. So this is the inaugural episode of our little thing that for right now, we're calling it a hint and a half. This is Jeff, and this is my. You want to introduce yourself?
Shay.
Wait, she doesn't look like a Shay at all.
As if it matters as we record this
You-
audio.
So these are what do you say? Like
Oh, the premise of this, yeah, so we're just two Bahamians living in the Big Apple. So we basically just rant and rave and converse about differences from the Bahamas to here, living in New York, which is like a world within itself.
but also I wanted to share that my real name's not Jeff. Your real name's not Shay.
Yeah.
It's just a little incognito thing because we may have future aspirations in the
Yeah,
Bahamas.
we're like working professionals.
I may want to run for prime minister.
Yeah, so we
someday.
like technically Pinky and the Brain.
Which one are you?
Let's not get into that. Whoever gets there first, then we know.
Funny subway stories. I remember you were telling me the other day that you got your watch stolen too on the
Oh
subway.
yeah, allegedly stolen. I felt like it was stolen because I just don't want to admit that I was careless and I lost it. So I have terrible habit of leaving home late enough just to catch the last train that I need to catch to go to work. So one morning I was rushing and I had a smartwatch. It wasn't like a Samsung or anything. It was Acer. No plug, not advertised.
Great.
So it just like snaps on like a typical snap-on thing on your wrist. So I looked at it to check the time before I got on the train. And when I got off the train, it wasn't on my arm. So I stopped at a really busy station. So I'm thinking someone had to bump into me and like release my snap and steal my watch. And I think that's what hurt me the most, that I don't know
You
what
got
happened
got.
to it. So it's like I could have been robbed and I could pretend that I lost it on my own, but that's like impossible because it snapped. So, you know, like I went on that one, like I was just robbed on the subway. Like I could have reported that to a cop.
And they probably would have laughed at you.
But I got robbed, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was really funny. But I mean, I still mourn the loss of that watch.
Just get another one.
That is true. But, you know, it's like I'm on punishment. I don't deserve one right now.
Mhm.
Gotta give it some time. Like, I said, when your goldfish dies, you don't just go get another
You
one.
have to mourn it first.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm still mourning my loss. So what about you? Have you had any experiences, I guess more on the American side, with things that aren't quite like home or raise an eyebrow for you?
No.
You gotta be kidding me. No. You gotta be kidding me.
I guess something I'm used to, and I'm pretty sure those of you from the Bahamas who are listening, or from anywhere, know when you look somebody in the eye, generally you give a little nod or a little acknowledgement that, hey, you know, I see you, you're here. But I don't know. I think with like the Northeasterners, there's this thing where they just kind of stare you down, and it's like a thing. Or they don't really say good morning, good afternoon, good night, things like that. It's just they're perfectly fine, like eyeballing you, and like giving you that death stare. But to open up your mouth and say hey, or how you doing, or you know what's up, or even to just nod, it's a bridge too far.
I agree.
And that makes you a weirdo, and it's a little bit like it's what's the word I want? It makes you feel kind of marginalized almost. Or like an other when someone like stares you down that way and
yeah, it says nothing.
Yeah,
That happens to me.
would it hurt you to be a little warm? Like You know?
And then you wonder, like, is it me or is it you? You know,
Yeah.
that happens to me at work. Like, I work on a huge floor. This is a lot of different cubicles, I guess, or whatever you want to call them. And this girl, she works directly across from me, and it's kind of awkward. So if you see someone walk past, you can't help to look who it is. So it's like we made eye contact. Like she literally stands up and looks at me, and we've never had a conversation like ever.
Yeah.
It's been like 4 months now. Never. Like we know each other's names because you hear it, but it's not like maybe once we said good morning.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's perfectly fine with it, and I am too, because it's like a huge partition between us, whatever you want to call that. Partition.
Okay, Beyonce.
Yeah. It's a huge partition between us, but it's so weird. Like, you know, if I cough, she'll hear, but we've never had a conversation. And I'm to the point where, like, it doesn't even bother me if we acknowledge each other. And I don't think it's a rude thing, like intentional.
It's just weird.
It's weird to me, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just take it upon myself to put the onus on myself to just say, you know, hey, what's up? Or, you know, just open up my mouth. And then it kind of puts the onus on you. If you don't respond, then you're the ass.
Right.
So.
But it's not like that. Like where if you initiate something, you won't get it back. It's just like, okay, we're both avoiding each other. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, but the fact that you can acknowledge that it feels awkward means that you could then in turn do something about it.
That's true. It takes no effort. I'll think about it.
Gotta meet people where they're at. I feel like that's my motto for this year. Like my what do you call it? New Year's resolution. You know, sometimes we run into dumb motherfuckers all the time, and you know, you try your best to avoid crazy, but sometimes you just can't. You just can't avoid it. So, you know, what you gonna do? You have to still live in this world. You still have to operate.
I agree.
So sometimes you just gotta meet a dumb motherfucker where he's at, or her. It's 2019. Him or her.
Oh man. Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta meet people where they at.
I agree.
You know, you hope for the best.
I'll try and put that into practice this week.
Yeah.
Yes, we were just talking about Drake. And I saw something on Twitter. They were saying like Drake has this bad omen thing. There was a fight yesterday, Joshua and God knows who.
Yeah. Two dudes, a fat dude and a buff dude.
Yeah, and Drake took a picture with the buff dude who was expected to win, and he didn't win.
And he got that ass
which is
whooped.
which is like a huge upset. So they're saying like Drake
out.
has this bad omen.
Yeah. Which is, consider right now, while we're recording this, the finals are in a couple hours, game 2.
Yeah.
The Raptors were fortunate that even though...
Fortunate?
Yeah, they're not the favorites. They're the underdogs. They won game 1.
Well,
they
was it fortunate? Skilled,
yeah, they were fortunate.
Talented. Because it doesn't just happen because you're lucky. You're playing against Golden State.
You're so fortunate that you would win that.
Maybe Drake is a good omen for Canadians.
That remains to be seen.
Well, yeah, we shall see game 2.
But we wanted to talk specifically about his sideline antics in the playoffs thus far.
Spike Lee?
Yeah, I feel like it's doing a little bit too much.
I don't know. I mean, you're rubbing on the coach.
Yeah, just giving the dude a back rub.
Yeah, that's
he's trying to coach a game. That's a bit much.
Yeah,
and then
isn't he like some ambassador or something?
Yeah,
the Raptors.
So but the thing I don't like that particularly kind of irks me is the tattoos. I don't know if you know, but Drake has Steph Curry's and Kevin Durant's tattoos, like their numbers tattooed on his arm.
Why?
Because it's Drake. It's,
that's not even...
Because Drake. I mean, that should explain everything.
That makes absolutely no sense.
And I mean, let's just be honest and transparent. We're both Drake fans. We like his music.
Yeah.
But we ain't here for the fuck shit.
Nah, not at all. So he's like some super fan, a stan.
Yeah, like it's a bit much.
But he's still trying on the Raptors, so how does that work?
Exactly. So at the last game on, what was that, Friday night?
Mm-hmm.
He had a wristband over the tattoos. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but Drake was wearing Stephen Curry's dad's, Del Curry, his Toronto Raptors jersey. So it's a bit much.
I guess it's all for the hype.
But I mean, if this was popping in the streets right now, who am I?
He must have some deal with the NBA or something. Because people are watching now for Drake. Like, I would watch just for Drake antics. For nothing else. Because I could care less.
Yeah, I
about
could
his
see that
finals.
because you don't care about the basketball.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's bringing in the ratings. He's doing what he needs to do.
But then also, so the NBA had to tell him to chill the fuck out.
Yeah,
And tell the Raptors to keep them in check. Curtail your shenanigans.
So far, so good, right? For the first game.
Yeah, so we'll see tonight what happens.
I think he's going to be excited.
I think by the time you guys listen to this, we'll know the results. Yeah, so speaking of Drake and him being, like, I guess, doing too much and, you know, down with the fuck shit, we were having a conversation about, like, masculinity today and how it's changing. But particularly we were having a conversation about women of color and their sort of outlook on masculinity and what's okay for their partners and sexuality and things like that. Today we're a bit more, I guess, enlightened about these things. But
yeah. This is like a different world, you know. I guess it totally depends on what you're into. Like, last night on the subway, I saw a guy. He was like really attractive, fit, built, tall guy, handsome, definitely dashing. But he had on some jeans. I almost thought they were women jeans because the way they just contour to his legs and his thighs. I'm like, that's a bit uncomfortable. I don't think your jeans should be as tight as mine. That's just my personal preference. Some women like it, you know, some not so much. And I saw some guys in like short shorts that would pass for boxers. I guess they went to governor's ball or something.
Okay.
But for me, that's unacceptable. Like, if I could see like midway between your thigh, your shorts are too short.
Now, I know you're not a homophobic person, so I assume if these were gay men, you'd be perfectly fine with what they chose to wear. And no. It's
not attractive to me at all.
Well, no, we're not talking about attraction. We're talking about, like...
Well, the way I think of it is like... Because, I mean, if your pants are short to a certain level, they look like boxers, basically. Like briefs.
Yeah. Boxer briefs.
Yeah, so it's like they're just
But, so we're
short.
not talking about... So, if these were gay men, you'd be fine with them being your friends or whatever, going out with them and hanging out. So, this is the thing I'm getting at. So, let's say your partner, when you guys initially get together, he looks the way you want him to look. You know, he's not perfect, but he's okay.
Yeah.
And you don't feel any embarrassment taking him anywhere.
Right.
But let's say at a certain point he turns 30, 31, and he says, you know what, I think I want to tighten it up. I want to taper it a bit.
You know, something like that kind of sort of happened to me.
Really? Do share.
Yeah. So I was dating this guy, and he had like no style. Like back home, you know, everyone was like baggy jeans and flat shirts and Clarks and a line belt. Like you still in high school, you know, but that's not my preference. Like I prefer a more fitted silhouette, not tight, but you know, it's okay to show if you got a nice bod, you can show off your muscles. Nothing wrong with a straight leg pant. Boot cut is out of style if you ask me. So, you know, so I kind of like styled them up a bit. And then when we broke up, I went out somewhere and I saw him one time and he had on like some shorts that he would never wear. They weren't shorts, but they were like shorts. And he had on a shirt and like it was like unbuttoned to a certain level. I'm like, so this is what I did. I fattened up, what is it, frog for snake? Yeah, I fattened up frog for snake. You got your profile and the thing and I styled you. Like I made you. Now you think you look good.
but that's not what we were talking about. That's not what I asked you about though.
But you asked me like what would I do? Like if he was with me, I would like that he wanted to.
What if he brought it to the place where it was too tight? That was the thing.
I'd say something. I'd be like, you showing too much. Like, who you advertising for? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, yeah, you could be fitted and dashing, but you don't have to be tight about it. Like, in a seductive kind of way, I guess.
Okay.
That's my thing. So, it doesn't matter if it's tight, but, like, if the shape of your butt is showing as a guy, I think that's unnecessary.
That doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
But he's your partner. So let's say he wants to go a little bit on the more feminine side. Start wearing blouses. I wish people could see the look on your face. a little lip gloss or whatever. He's your partner. He's the person you committed to. The future father of your children. He said, I just want to soften it up a little.
Well, Well, that's a deep conversation. Like, I need to know why. It's beyond now that I don't even like it. I want to know, why do you want to wear a blouse? Like, the dudes from Migos, they wear, like, blouses and, like, A$AP Rocky and stuff. I'm like, do you know? I don't care if this is Versace. Did you know that you bought a blouse? Like, it's not even a shirt. It's a blouse.
But, I mean, are you going to think less of him? Or are you... Is he not a good enough man for you?
No, it's not about that. It's just your style is changing. Like, when you meet people and there's things you like about them, you like their style, you like their swag. So if a blouse is on you, I guess your swag will change. I don't know. That's how I feel. I don't think you could be as swaggy in a blouse.
I feel like you can be swaggier.
In a blouse.
To be blunt, I mean, if you're wearing a blouse.
I don't know.
I mean, look at Prince.
Prince. To me, Prince is not... Well, it feeds into what you're saying, sexual in that masculine way. Because it's like, you in these silk shirts.
But women loved him.
Maybe of that era, but I'm from a different time. That's not my kind of thing. Like, what is that movie? Like, my mind is so random, I can't remember the name of the movie. But, like, say Grease, the way those people dressed in Grease probably was the style and what the ladies liked back then. But me watching Grease, growing up in the 20th century, I did not find that attractive. I don't want to see a guy wearing belt-cut tights, you know, boot-cut tights, no.
Mm-hmm. So we kind of like segued this into off-air, the conversation that's probably been talked to death in the black community about that situation with Molly from Insecure, where she was dating a dude who once had a sexual encounter with a man.
Yeah.
And we kind of talked it to death. But I don't know, I think there's an interesting phenomena going on here with women of color. And not to bash women of color or anything like that. But I don't know, I feel like they're very accepting of homosexual men or bisexual people or whatever. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to their partners, and you know, it's your own choice. You get to choose who you want to be with or whatever. But I don't know, I just feel like we should be a little bit more enlightened about, like, you know, I don't know. It's just something I noticed with, like, women of color. Like, they don't want to be with a man who is bisexual or who had a homosexual experience or who, when you initially meet him, he presents himself as a masculine, stereotypical masculine man.
Right.
But as he grows a little older, gets a little wiser, maybe he wants to soften it up and, you know. I feel like, and this is just my opinion, and this isn't indicative of anything that I want to do, but I feel like if I'm with a person and I'm saying, I tell you, you know, I'm going to be with you for the rest of my life and I'm not going to cheat on you or we're going to have kids and whatever, I feel like I should have the freedom to be me no matter what. You know, I feel like if I want to put on lip gloss and put on a dress, and I feel like I should be able to go out and, you know, you let me be the me and let me shine, you know. So, not that that's what I want to do, but I feel like I should have the freedom and I should have the security enough to know that if that's something I want to engage in, that you can support me.
Agreed, but a perfect example of that is Kris Jenner. Well, obviously we see, because what's his name? Bruce was in the media from he was an Olympic athlete. So you see this masculine guy, he's hot, he's attractive, whatever. You marry him, you have kids with him, and then at some point he's like, hey, I want to, you know, this is you catch him in your closet wearing your clothes. Yeah. So it's like, do I leave this man or do I accept him for who he is and understand? I mean, he's still a father. He's still the masculine guy.
Yeah, he raised his kids and he didn't cheat, as far as we know.
But now, look, the present day results of that. Like, you gave this guy so much rope, but now, maybe who he wanted to be or who he found out he could be, he became.
But yeah, and I think that's about loving somebody. It's like you have to give them the freedom to be, even if that means our relationship can't last. I still want you to be the best you could be. I want you to be happy. If being with me makes you miserable because I love you so much, I think I should be comfortable enough to let you go and be the best you that, you know, or if you feel like you need to stay with me, as long as you're still the same person within. And in the end, I feel like you get a better person because they're happier, they're actualized, they get to live their truth. So by default, doesn't that make them, you know, better to be around?
I don't know, but we as humans, we have that selfish nature about ourselves.
Yeah.
You want someone to be good, but at the same time, you like this person for
who they are.
For these reasons, you know, their characteristics, right?
I mean, with all that being said, if my girlfriend one day decided she wanted to walk around wearing Dickies and looking like young M.A., probably not going to be down for that shit, truth be told.
Exactly.
But it's just something to think about. Like, how much do you're with these people and you say you love them, but how much do you really love them?
That's true. I think, like, doing what Kris Jenner did, that's, like, ultimate love. Like, I know what you want deep down inside, and you are a good father and husband and a provider. So why should I not let you be what you want to be? And I'll not let, but why should I fight that or not or move away from you because a part of you shifted somewhere else? And a lot of people go through that. You see people, they get married and their spouses do all sorts of off-the-wall stuff. Some leave, some stay. But now I guess through this conversation we can understand why they stayed. Because, you know, I love you deep enough to know who you are on the inside and allow you to be happy. I think that's the ultimate love, letting someone be happy.
And then I don't think we give each other enough credit for being human. It's like we just assume once you hit 20, 25, 26, you kind of, your cement is set. When I don't think that's the actual
That's
like we're ever evolving, ideally we should be ever evolving, ever changing, learning more, growing. Things change, things shift. You know, like I remember when all I used to want to wear was like 5X t-shirts and 36 waist jeans, when in reality I'm like a 32.
So are we talking about just outward appearance and style?
Yeah, and I can tell you now, I'm in my mid to late 20s, and I kind of want to taper it up. I feel like, I don't want to be too tight. I don't want to hug the nuts and shit. But,
you just want more a different style.
To look a little bit more sensible,
Nothing wrong with that.
Walking around Baytown no more. And me catching the bus.
Okay. That's true.
A different day.
I agree. You do want to, like, clean it up a bit. And me and a friend of mine, we were having a conversation about that, too, because where we work, and it may be a cultural thing, like in the Bahamas, if you wear something short or skimpy, so to speak, you're going out casually. But a lot of people in corporate America, style is interesting. Like, they wear the shortest dresses or skirts or whatever, and it's like, my friend, like, that's not appropriate. But to them, it means nothing. So do you think we put too much value on what people wear and their appearance and just not accept people for who they are, what they are? Like, I see a lot of wacky fashions in New York. Some of them I don't get, and some of them I'm like, okay, that's cool.
You want to share your little bit of thing about the men you work with?
Oh, yeah. So I work, like, in a big corporate environment, wide open floor. It's a pretty big floor, so it's probably like maybe 200 people working on one floor. And for some reason, everyone dresses up. I guess it's a personal thing or whatever, but they dress as if they work on Wall Street. So everyone's like in 3-piece coats and, stilettos going to work. But you just see the same 200 people every day. And some of the guys, they wear like the tightest pants. And I don't know if it's a competition of butts or socks, but that's basically, you just see a whole lot of colorful socks and a lot of tight butts. I mean, it's cute to look at or whatever, but I personally would not.
Ass and socks.
Yeah. I personally would not date any of them. I mean, it doesn't make them gay or seem feminine in my eyes that they wear tight pants, but that's just not my style. I'm not attracted to that. And if you're going to do that at work, you probably do that socially. And it sounds so shallow now that I hear it. Like, your pants are too tight, I can't date you.
One of the things that really interests me, too, was how we always talk about how men are dogs and talk shit about men. Niggas ain't shit.
Yeah.
Bitches ain't shit either. Like, you'll get into it with the shallow talk and so let's not,
Yeah, I think Molly from Insecure is like the perfect example of how a woman could be like ways fickle, shallow, all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice balance because at the same time, Molly, she's a lawyer, she's accomplished, she's very smart, intelligent. I feel like she should have to compromise and who she should, she should have like some kind of ideal guy, but then at the same time, you should compromise because that person probably doesn't exist.
Yeah, and
so it's a nice balance.
She kind of learned that last season. Like, she wanted that professional guy or this guy to look a certain way or be a certain way. But for who? Because for her, she almost pretty much loved the guy that was married. He was pretty down to earth. He was not a snazzy dresser per se. I don't remember where he works, but I doubt he had a big corporate job like her. And she just loved him for who he was. It might have been their prior connections, but she loved him. And then at the end of the last season, she dated this Asian guy, and he was pretty down there too. She was really into him, like, they were vibing or whatever, but she put that shallowness into place, like, what do you do, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, who are you doing that for? And what does it pay? If you have a career, you have a good job, would you want someone to match you? I guess. You want someone who doesn't mooch off for you? I guess. But at the same time, if you find someone who cares about none of that stuff, what purpose does it serve?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that one of the fundamental things is you want to have your priorities set. It's like, what do you really want? You want the money, or you want someone who's going to support you when you come home, and maybe you want someone who's going to cook for you and maybe put breakfast together, pack you a lunch. You want someone who's going to go out there and maybe earn more than you so you can have a nice house, or maybe you feel like, you know what, I could do it on my own. I don't really need that. What I really need is someone to hold me at night. You got to have your priorities set. Maybe you want kids. You want your kids to look a certain way, so I guess you want someone who's a certain level of attractiveness. Whatever. I think that's ultimately, I think people always talk about love, and, that's fine. But at the same time, when you're looking to settle down long term, you have to think about it from a sort of business perspective. Like, it's almost a business deal. You have to be pragmatic. You have to know what you want to get out of the relationship. You don't want to get with someone who's going to make your life harder. You want someone who's going to help improve things. So, yeah, love is nice. It's good to fall in love with somebody, but at the same time, you have to be a little bit pragmatic, and you have to really know what you want from a partner.
Right. I think a lot of people are confused about that. But like you say, as you grow older, you evolve. So what you like then, you don't like now.
All right, so that also sounds like an argument against monogamy, considering I heard a guy say once that he does like a 7-year contract with his wife.
What does that mean?
Like a 7-year contract. After 7 years, they sit down, they reassess. Do we still want to stay married? Are we still in this for the same things? Are we still attracted to each other?
What purpose is that, sir?
Well, we just spoke about it. Some people change, they evolve, they learn more, their tastes change.
Well,
maybe he wants to be single,
Yeah, well, when I say what purpose does it serve, I guess I meant what purpose does getting married serve?
In the first place.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's almost like a business transaction. You want to bring in somebody who's going to make your life better, make your life more fulfilling. You want to have kids.
The only usefulness that I've ever, from the outside looking in, seen getting married is for, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Like, that's the only, business transaction necessary for a marriage.
But it's not explicitly that way.
But that's the only reason I would feel like you would want to need to get married to someone. Because you can do all those other things outside of marriage.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But, for legal purposes and such. And for some people, it's romantic. I'm not particularly one of those people. I look at it from a practical standpoint. When we have kids, the kids are ours. There's no, there's
right. I get that.
Co-parenting to an extent, but they're still our kids. All the assets are ours. If something happens to me, then you get them. Vice versa.
Right. Well, I get that.
Insurance purposes, things like that.
Right.
I mean, granted, there's still common law and stuff like that, but but then some people, they're romantic about it. They want to have the big wedding. They want to invite their family. They want to have the champagne and the nice dinner and all that stuff.
Well, I guess. Well, in that case, the 7-year contract makes sense. I do that.
It's interesting. I don't, not that I would do it, but I just found it interesting that I also found it interesting that his wife would agree to that. But
does she have a choice?
I would assume so.
But I mean, if she didn't want to evaluate everything after 7 years, he can go and file for divorce and irreconcilable differences, whatever.
Yeah, but then the other partner still has to sign the divorce papers. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, definitely. The things people do out here. I don't think in a situation like that, it was necessary for them to get married. Forget everything else, because if after the first 7 years it didn't work out, still got to dissolve whatever assets. Insurance is gone, so you just wasted 7 years.
No, you had kids. You learned something along the way.
Learning something along the way.
that doesn't count for it.
Yeah. Like, that's 7 years. I can't get that back.
No, I mean, 7 years with a partner. 7 years with your kids. Your kids
if
are
it wasn't good,
you.
I'm saying if it wasn't good, instead of fighting for the 8th year and the 8th year being that perfect year, you just say, okay, on the 7th year, everything wasn't worth it. Now what?
No, it's just at the 7th year, we feel as though we want to go separate ways. like a business transaction. After it's no longer beneficial for you, you know,
I
you
can't
success
imagine.
it, and you feel like, okay, well, I think I want to I think I want to bring somebody else on the team, and
Like an NBA contract.
Yeah, we will not be renewing your
Yeah.
contract this season. We wish you all the best, and we'll see you out there.
Yeah. You know, when I was speaking back on the NBA thing, I heard some stuff about it. Not a lot, so correct me where I'm wrong. But they were saying Magic Johnson and this guy, Mark something, he was staff for the Lakers. But he basically was like a backstabber to Magic Johnson.
Oh, you're talking about Rob Pelinka and
whoever
Magic?
he may be.
Yeah.
So it's like, Magic Johnson said he told them, I'm going to be here for a bit, and then that's it, I'm going. But the guy was going around Magic Johnson's back saying, oh, he's not loyal to the team, he's not interested in it, blah, blah, blah. And the thing is, everybody warned him, but he's still, like, associated with this guy beyond a professional thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, now it bites him in the ass, because he looks like the bad guy for pulling out of the Lakers. It's so interesting. What's up with that? Is it that necessary? I mean, they're all filthy rich.
I mean,
they all have good careers.
it's a long story. So Jeannie Buss, who is the daughter of Dr. Jim Buss, I believe, who owns the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
They had this power struggle because, when you have a wealthy billionaire who has assets and you have children, they fight over who gets what, who has control over what.
Right.
And having the illustrious Lakers franchise under their umbrella of assets.
Oh, that's pretty, yeah.
Yeah, obviously they're going to fight over it. So Jim, what's her name? Jeannie Buss had to fight with her brother. So now she has full control over the Lakers.
Okay.
And with the help of Magic gassed her up. We'd be like, you should take this and then you should bring me on board. Mm-hmm. And that's how they operate. They're very aesthetic driven. It's all about the Lakers family and who looks good for this spot. Mm-hmm. So typically they don't hire anybody who hasn't played for the Lakers or... Okay. I wouldn't say typically, but that's their thing. They want people from that Laker family. Yeah. So thus Magic. Before Magic was put in that position, they hired Luke Walton. I don't know if you remember Luke, who played with Kobe back.
I know the Walton name.
Okay.
God for that.
So Luke Walton, the son of Hall of Famer Bill Walton. He was a mediocre player. He coached with Golden State, and then they brought him into the Lakers to work with that young team. Then we have Rob Pelinka, who was Kobe's agent back when Kobe was a player.
That's crazy, yeah.
So, and I don't know if you heard the story about Rob Pelinka telling that Kobe went to see Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we won't get into it, but if you guys want to learn more, just Google it. Rob Pelinka and Kobe and Heath Ledger and The Dark Knight. If you guys know, Heath Ledger died before The Dark Knight premiered. So it's kind of weird that Rob Pelinka would say Kobe went to have dinner with Heath Ledger after he saw The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Rob Pelinka was the GM, and I think Magic was head of basketball operations, so he dealt specifically with like recruiting players and things like that. So he said before he got in, he didn't hire Rob Pelinka. Jeannie Buss hired Rob Pelinka. So he said people were telling him, "Hey, Rob Pelinka's a snake," yada yada yada. Yeah. That's been corroborated now. The thing about the whole Magic situation is, I think he should have never been brought in the first place because he has no prior evidence of him being successful in this position.
Right.
He's a good businessman, but at the same time, does he have like that basketball acumen to actually be successful in basketball affairs and things like that? It's just funny, after he left, he kind of like was kicking everybody in the ass and throwing them under the bus, and but I feel like I didn't answer the question that you actually give.
Well, you explained a lot more, so I have a bit more insight.
So what's the question?
I just was trying to figure out why Magic went through it all. Because if you know, like, people are telling you this guy's a snake. Uh-huh. I guess the Kobe thing happened long before Magic joined.
Yeah.
So even if that's common gossip, because they played the video. I saw they played the video. So you could see what kind of guy this is. Why would you still closely associate yourself to him?
I mean, he said he wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. But even if, I feel like on your way out, you should not go on ESPN Airways and talk shit about the dude. I mean, Magic was just like, here are my nuts, hold them. It's my ass. Kiss it. You know.
Yeah.
And, I mean, when you magic, you talk about people with money. Some people have fuck you money, and that if you want to sue them, most people will settle with you because they don't want to go through the trouble of having to actually pay lawyers and whatever to win a case when they could just save money, pay you a settlement, and get it over with. Magic has fuck you money in that if you sue him, he's probably gonna go to the ends with you, even though he ends up losing money, just to make you feel like an ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll probably because he has that much money.
Yeah.
But he also has fuck me money. And that he can say things to fuck himself over, and not really care how he's perceived, and it's fine because he's the captain of his own pirate ship, essentially. So it's like no matter what he says or how he looks in the media, it doesn't matter. They're not going to shut down Magic Johnson theaters, or he owns the Dodgers, or he has shares in the LA Sparks. He probably has shares in the Lakers, low key. I don't know, but. Yeah, you're not going to stop his train. And he can't even stop his train. So, yo. So, yeah, we have noisy neighbors. I don't know if you guys can pick that up. But, yeah. That's all insightful. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, that's the only interest I have in the NBA, the drama.
Yeah. But I'll say this for people in general. Like, you have to get over this. I feel like this is a thing. It's a very New York thing, too. Like, where people are so consumed with, like, aesthetics and wanting to look. I have a certain look.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, we're the Instagram generation or whatever. My girlfriend and I were talking about how people pay hella amount of money to have a gym membership at Equinox but not even go. When you can have a much cheaper gym membership at Crash or whatever, a much cheaper gym. But because people want to say, oh, I have a membership at Equinox, and it looks good, and it looks good to post a picture when you're working out at Equinox.
Right.
But at the same time, you're struggling to pay your rent because you're also paying this gym membership.
Yeah, it's totally a New York thing.
And then, you know, you buying these expensive-ass handbags and these red bottoms or whatever just to look a certain way.
It makes no sense.
So I think, yeah, I wish people would get over it. But people are consumed with, like, this aesthetics. We want to have this to look a certain way.
Yeah, that's fulfilling for them.
Yeah, but when you really look at it, so, like, especially with the Lakers, article came out about how dysfunctional they are as a workplace and how people felt uncomfortable to speak out against Magic because they felt like it would fall on deaf ears.
Yeah.
And Magic wasn't treated the same way as all the other employees. You know, he was going out and tampering and stuff like that when they already had a specific day when they went over and they told their employees, hey, this is what you don't say. This is how we go about our business so we don't get caught up in these tampering charges. Right. And you have Magic going on TV still doing what he was told not to do.
But like you say, I guess it's because the ownership and the way the hierarchy is set up.
Yeah.
If you hire your friends, they're going to feel like they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess they got what they deserve.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, they still have LeBron. We'll see how long that lasts.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, he's an afterthought now, basically.
He's a, what's that? Afterthought.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So maybe they'll recover next season. That's like spring or something?
In the fall. Yeah, in the fall.
Yeah, I think I'll go to an NBA game next or something.
The Knicks.
Yeah, just see what it's about. Yeah, so it's been insightful, nice chit chat.
Yeah, any closing thoughts?
I can't think of anything.
I'm
gonna watch Drake tonight, see what he does.
Yeah, hopefully. But those who are listening, you probably will know.
Yeah. Rewatch, recap it.
Yeah.
With us. Should be good.
Okay.
Yeah, well, thanks for listening.
Like and subscribe, whatever you
on every platform. Continue to tune in.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, we'll keep making
look for us on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, and if you want to hear us talk about anything, just let us know. Yeah, we'll be back with more insightful content.
Yeah. All right. Bye.